Hello, folks. Welcome to today's of football predictions on Bet Perhaps another very beautiful Wednesday morning. And once again, we are back with our predictions right on this very channel. Always what we do, looking at football games that are happening across the globe, and we always get the past results for each of these teams. Using those results, we also come up with the verdict for each of these very games, the best possible verdict. All right, that's exactly what we're going to do once again today. And yesterday we had a very, very good outing, seeing that 4 games out of 5 rather, we saw Sussex, and only one, which happened to be the Barcelona match, which almost won yesterday, but ended up playing a draw and losing thereafter in the extra time. So, but we did very well, and today we're going to do also the same, and hopefully we'll do better today, and we'll be looking at the matches one after the other. But I want to ask those of us who are coming across our video for the first time that are yet to subscribe, take out time to hit the subscription button right now so that you won't be missing out on our games that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. All right, have you done that? Have you subscribed? Okay, all right, thank you very much. Also remember to like and share our video so that we'll get to have more audience in this very channel. Okay, and without further ado, we head to the business of today, and it is the first match of the day, the UEFA Champions League match. We'll have Paris Saint-Germain who will be facing Arsenal FC, in the second leg of the semi-final for these two sides. And when you look at Paris Saint-Germain in recent times, in the last 6 games, they've won 2 games and they've had a draw, but have also lost 3 matches out of the last 6 matches that they had so far. And the away side, Arsenal FC have managed 2 wins and 2 draws, also having 2 losses in the last 6 games. Okay, but when you take a look at how these two teams fared on home and away perspective, you can see that Paris Saint-Germain, the home side, have actually won 7 games and a draw. They've also lost 2 matches in the last 10 home appearances. And away side, Arsenal FC have won 6 games and 3 draws from away. They've also had 1 loss in the last 10 away games. Okay, and on head-to-head basis, it was Paris Saint-Germain who actually won from away on that occasion by 1-0 against Arsenal. That was last week. But in this very one, honestly, this very game is very difficult to call, but I'm actually suspecting that this very encounter is going to turn out to be a draw for both sides. But I advise that this very game, you play it single, do not put it in your accumulated tickets. All right, a draw, that's what we expect for this very encounter. Okay, and the next is in Denmark Cup, where we'll have Aalborg will be facing Brøndby. Okay, for Aalborg, in the last 6, they have had 2 victories and 2 draws, also losing 2 matches. And away side, Brøndby have had 2 wins and 3 draws, losing once out of the last 6 games that they had so far. Okay, when you take a look at how this team fared on home and away basis, you see the home side, Aalborg, have won 4 games and 4 draws. They've also lost 2 matches in the last 10 home games. And away side, on the other hand, Brøndby have won 3 games and 3 draws, losing 4 games from away. Okay, but when you take a look at how these two teams fared on head-to-head basis, you can see that last time both teams met, it was a 3-3 draw. That was last week, between these two sides. And in this very encounter, also the last 3 head-to-head meetings also saw them playing out a draw, 3-3 draw, 2-2 draw, and also another 3-3 draw. So in this very encounter, it shows that these two teams are actually scoring and also conceding. So we expect to see both sides scoring in this very one. So it is a go, both teams to score. That's what we expect for this very encounter. Okay. And the next is in Norway Cup, where we'll have Alta will be coming up against Kristiansund. Okay, when you look at Alta, the home side, in the last 6 games, they've had 2 wins and 4 losses. And away side, Kristiansund have won 4 games, a draw, as well as 1 loss in the last 6 matches. Okay, looking at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you can see Alta have won 5 games and 2 draws. They've also had 3 losses in the last 10 home matches. And away side, on the other hand, Kristiansund having won 6 games and a draw in the last 10 away games. They've also lost 3 matches out of the last 10 away games that they have so far. But also when you look closely at the results, you can see that the home side 8 times out of 10 have produced over 2.5 lots of goals, in the last 10 home matches. And the away side as well, also 8 times out of 10, the last 10 away games have produced over 2.5, 80% of the time. And the last meeting between these two sides saw Kristiansund beating this very side by 6-0. That tells you that the meetings between the two sides actually produce lots of goals, and we are going with a minimum of 3 goals and over 2.5. That's what we expect for this very encounter. All right, the next game for today is also in the Norwegian Cup, where we have Moss coming up against Vikings. Okay, and when you take a look at how these two teams performed in recent times, you can see that for Moss, It is 4 wins and 2 losses in the last 6 matches. And away side Vikings have won 4 games and also had 2 draws in the last 6 games that they have so far. They've not lost a single match. All right, when you take a look at how they fared from home and away basis, we see Moss, the home side, have actually won 8 games and 2 draws in the last 10 home matches. They've not lost any single match playing from home. And away side Vikings have managed to achieve 5 victories. They've also had 3 draws as well as 2 losses in the last 10 away games that they have so far. But also what you've mentioned is the fact that for Moss, the home side, most of the time, actually 6 times out of 10 they've seen over 2.5. The last home game they have saw them winning against Steelberg by 4-2, and Vikings on the other hand have also won the last away game against the Flickeroy by 3-2. Nail on that occasion. We saw the last 3 away games for Vikings, saw them scoring lots of goals. We saw them winning the likes of Hannah by 6-0, also defeating Hankam by 5-2. And so when we combine all these factors, we also know that in this very encounter we expect to see goals as well. A lot of goals, a minimum of 3 goals to appear in this very encounter, and over 2.5. That's what's ready for that very encounter. And the next which will be the last for today, also in Norwegian Cup, we'll have a Sundal who will be facing COSV. Okay, when you look at the recent matches for these 2 sides, you can see for Sundal, they've won 5 games out of the last 6 matches. They've also lost 1, and away side COSV as well, winning 5 games and losing 1 in the last 6 matches that they have so far. And when you look at how these 2 teams fared from home and away basis, we see Sundal, the home side, have won 4 matches and 2 draws, losing 4 games out of the last 10 home appearances. And away side COSV, on the other hand, have actually done very well for themselves, winning 7 games and a draw in the last 10 away matches, and they've also lost 2 games out of those matches that they've had so far. And the last time both teams met was actually in November. It was Sundal who defeated this side from away on that occasion by 1-0. And prior to that, we also saw Sundal as at June beating COSV by 2-0. But in this very one, judging by the form of the away side, now we do not expect to see loss for the away side. So we expect to see the away side, COSV either winning or draw here. So away side to win or draw, that's what we expect for that very game. And that will bring our predictions for you today on BetSpark to a conclusion. We wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. Hope that you win. And also remember to play responsibly, as these are football games. It sometimes may not be exactly what it seems. Sometimes it may come with some surprises. That is football for you. All right, tomorrow is another day and we'll be back with our predictions on this very channel. Do not miss out on our predictions. Make sure you check us out and check out predictions for tomorrow also. So up until that time, we wish you the very best of luck and say keep winning.